Greetings and namaste. It is Monday, July the 3rd, 2023, coming to you with some important messages for this week, and especially for July 4th, tomorrow. And we also have a new moon today. So all I can say is right now, this time that we are in definitely feels very, very intense and energetic. With new moons, of course, we are still integrating new energies, and a way to do that, setting new intentions for ourselves, focusing on what we want to experience and create, is also by releasing things that no longer serve us. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with the messages. We'll see how this flows. Had a very, very powerful, important dream last night. And while writing it down and tuning into, deeper messages within this dream, had our beautiful sister, Archangel Jophiel, come forward with some important messages. So please stay tuned for the whole video. Watch it in parts if you need to. Again, for this time that we are in, as we are continuing to transition, ever grounding in higher and higher energies, and also purging and transmuting some of these lower energies that are affecting our reality. Just keep your eyes open, pay attention. Of course, if you would like assistance, or if you would like to even just speak to someone, I can be reached by email, BLUE, Ray, RAY, ATF at gmail.com. I do have some projects in the work that I'm very excited about. So as those continue to manifest, I will begin sharing about those really, really soon here. Super excited about that. But again, if you need assistance with energetic readings, I do a variety of energetic readings, and crystalline guidance, soul guidance, soul path, Reiki, helping to shift energies within the body and the etheric fields, and as well as regression and alchemy. And the style I use is Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy. Definitely assisting in integrating the higher self and higher dimensional energies, as well, again, as purging in a number of ways. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me and inquire about those services, so that I may continue to be assistance in assisting you and myself at the same time, as we are one. So let's move into the energies today. So the crystal oversoul card that is coming forward to assist us today for the week of July 3rd, we have one for the week, and then we have actually a second card for the July 4th energies. So I'll get those pulled up here. So let me get that one pulled up. So our first card is actually going to be the emerald energy, the emerald oversoul. So tuning into that image as it is a mandala. Again, as I've shared before, a lot of the mandalas are oversoul energies. Like if you ever see moving shapes, swirling shapes, they kind of go in and out of each other, fractaling energies. You may be in the presence of the energy of an oversoul. They do appear multiple types of ways. Of course, that is more of a crystalline energy, where you're seeing the shapes and energies moving back and forth in that manner. But I've seen multiple types of oversouls, but the energies that we're tuning in today are going to be of the crystalline nature. And again, oversouls are collectives of energy consciousness, huge collectives of energy consciousness, 8th dimensional and higher. And of course, oversouls do evolve or have higher states of themselves when you're, going back into Rishi energies. So emerald, the emerald oversoul. The heart chakra is attuned to the deep green ray offered by emerald. Blockages that we allow to stand in the way of achieving our dreams are reflected back to us. Emerald takes us to the roots of any residual feelings connected to how we value ourselves. Emerald asks us to look within and to ask penetrating questions as to the nature of our reality or how we perceive this reality rather than permanently or prematurely. Like, yes, some people do permanently, but we want to soften that energy, of course. But rather than prematurely blaming or judging another for our experience, Emerald asks us to first seek healing around our own attitude and our own perception. All real healing starts with the willingness to change. And this crystal supports us in moving forward into the unknown regions of the heart, giving us courage, strength, and ultimately true wealth. Within this inner movement, we can discover how precious we are. The wealth of feelings. The emerald oversoul attunes the heart to the deep green ray. The mandala is a vibrant green series of interlocking sections that create layer upon layer of perfect harmony and symmetry. 16 beings reflect the unified awareness of the Oversoul. They stand tall in rich emerald colored robes, and their eyes a penetrating emerald color. Look deep into our soul. We sense with these beings that we can only enter this oversoul if we are really willing to change our perception and thus our attitude. The beings guide us to follow the emerald green rays of the mandala. And as the light of these rays penetrate our cells and open our heart, we enter the mandala to see the vibrant green temple complex ahead. It is a beautiful structure carved from the emeralds that glow in the light. The beings guide us deep into the temple where we see a table carved from emerald on which we are invited to lay. All 16 beings surround us, creating as they do a mandala. They raise their arms and sing a melody of such beauty that our heart and mind is illumined with knowledge. In the center of this knowledge, we realize that on the deepest level of our being, we co-create our reality. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, appreciating and honoring the wisdom, energy, and healing that particular crystal oversoul consciousness is assisting us with at this time. Just even reading that and knowing what messages are to come. Beautiful way to start this day, this message here. All right, so I also pulled some energies from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. This one's by Elena Fairchild. So I want to go ahead and pull that one up before I get into the messages I received and share a dream with you. Okay. So the first image we have, the first card that we pull for today and this week. What you want wants you. What you want wants you. You could feel such a deep desire, such a longing that humanity has been calling on for such a long time. But humanity hasn't known how to allow it, how to get there, how to manifest this. And a huge part of humanity doesn't see or feel it as possible. Not when they look at the state of things, not when they look at what has been. But what humanity does not have awareness of is where humanity even came from. Yeah, we look at and we hear about, and, we have our history, about what's occurred over the last 100 years, what's occurred over the last 400 years, what's even occurred over to a certain extent, what's occurred over the last 2,000 years. But what humanity has long forgotten is what has occurred on the earth in the last 10,000 years, in the last 100,000 years. Where was humanity? What type of human was on the earth 100,000 years ago? Humanity has fallen, but they fell from somewhere. And in your own experience, in your own daily life, our own personal experiences and witnessing others, that when you fall, you can obviously get back up. And not only that, you can even go beyond where you have been. So there's a level of awareness that is lacking, that's very limited for humanity and the psyche and the ego and the history. There's an energy of something so beautiful and divine to come, to be restored and to be evolved, that there's a part of us that is incapable of even understanding what is possible, the potential, and we doubt it and we're afraid of it. But it's like, why be afraid of a higher potential? You've already seen the lower. What is there really to be afraid of? And asking that question does require going within yourself, deep within yourself, to stuff, situations, events, whether or not it's yours directly, it happened to you personally, or whether or not it's dealing with your bloodline. But someone's got to look at it so we can let it go. We've got to look at it and understand, how do our memories, how do our feelings, how do our desires, how do our fears, how do these high or untapped potentials, how can they serve us? What's beneficial? What is not? So the second message, what you want wants you. It wants you. Do you dare to believe that what you want is also wanting you? The genuine desires of your heart are the sacred purpose of the soul, swathed in pleasure. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged for, made to feel guilt over, or denied your natural desires, natural, keyword is natural, because there are unnatural desires, or pleasures in any way, you may have developed a very tricky and complicated relationship with the yearnings of your heart. We often learn to distrust our own desires and to come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. We may even try to want second best, disbelieving that we are worthy of our first choice, of what we really genuinely want and will fulfill us deeply. Perhaps we have conditioned ourselves to believe that getting what we want is for others and not for us. This oracle comes with a healing message for you. First, trust in what you really want, what you truly want, not the substitutions and make do's, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment to your life. You might not know anything more than I want to sing, or I want to write, or I want to help animals, I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that truly moves me? What truly moves you? Give this matter consistent attention without forcing a response. Your answers may come in a sudden flood or slowly over time. As you get to know your desires, your genuine desires, and give yourself permission to feel and receive them, a powerful sequence is set in motion. From the depths of the universe, your desire hurtles its way towards you as the perfect manifestation. It is coming to you even now, manifesting itself as the best situation or relationship or circumstances to bring fulfillment to your heart, radiance to your life path, and a creative awakening. So don't give up. Keep dreaming of your fulfillment, but don't imagine it as always awaiting you in some distant future. Instead, play with what it will feel like to be so fulfilled right now. How will you feel different? Will you be more grateful, more peaceful and content, more confident, more trusting of your ability to create and in loving responsiveness of this wild universe? Cultivate those feelings. Get to know, get to feel what desire and the meeting of that desire that can then generate yet new desires like for you. Give yourself permission to go there right now. This oracle brings you the message that whether you see it coming or not, your desire is already on its way to you. It is closer than you think, and soon you will be able to see it, touch it, feel it, and enjoy it. You will then become inspired for your next manifestation based on the true desires of your heart. Repeat this statement 3 times with feeling. What I want wants me, and I am open, willing, and capable to receive it through unconditional love now. What I want wants me, and I am open, willing, and capable to receive it through unconditional love now. Beautiful messages. So just remember, as you heal, it will you will gain clarity. You will become clearer about what it is you truly desire to experience in life, in all things that are truly desired from the heart and from a healing space is truly beneficial for humanity. So I'm now going to share a dream, and I will close with additional messages. But I'm going to share a dream, and then I'm going to share a message that I received from our sister, beautiful divine sister, Archangel Jophiel. So this morning, I was more of an observer. The female energy in this dream was represented by Lynn Whitfield and Journey Smollett. That's how they appeared in my dream. But it was more of a female energy. It wasn't them. And it's interesting because in dreams, oftentimes I do dream of sometimes, or famous people will appear in my dreams, but this felt like they were representing a particular feminine energy. So they actually played mother and daughter in Eve's Bayou. But this energy felt more fitting of a maiden, mother, matriarch energy. the maiden mother matriarch. So different aspects of the feminine energy. In the first part of the dream, I feel like I was driving. So, but I did feel the presence of other people in the car with me. So the energy of that was played or represented by Journey Smollett, I'll just, put as JS, but I believe she was in the car with me. So we were looking for an address. And I do remember it was like we had to, like, I guess a part of the dream that I don't remember as much prior to me driving was us getting this address or confirming that this was the correct address. But we were looking for an address, and this particular land had been closed off by a gate. But it was multiple gates present, and one was actually open. But we didn't enter because we seen these big wild cats. And I'm not sure if they were tigers or a different cat, but I knew they were cats. But they were like big wild cats. So, tigers, um, panthers, I'm not sure. But it felt like we either checked two different areas on this property or we checked the gate twice, but there was this energy that of two times. And the second time a car pulled up next to us. So I started backing out carefully because the car that pulled up was really close to our car. But then I realized I recognized the other driver. And it was the female or the energy that was represented by Lynn Whitfield. So I stopped the car to talk to her. But a lot of this, like I said, it really felt like more of an observing energy. So I was observing this situation taking place, but dreams can get kind of weird, sometimes. So, but it felt like initially I was driving. So anyway, so she was also checking out the area. Lynn was LW. But I do remember I followed Lynn in the car to her current home. So this area we were all checking out is rightfully Lynn LW is her old home and property. So we were at her new or her current home or where she's lived, since I guess leaving that property. And she began explaining how she had lost her land. She had experienced some trauma where her husband had ended up killed. So there was this divine masculine energy that had ended up killed. And so she was afraid as well as ashamed. And so she left the land and had not returned. So in her absence, and it felt like this, the energy of her explaining this trauma and us looking at it and, had a view, like there were images of, watching this trauma that had occurred to her. But in her absence, a family or a pack of wild cats had taken over the territory. So at one point, she does clarify that, 40 years has passed. So after 40 years, she still didn't know how to return or to reclaim her land. Initially she didn't want to, she ran away from this trauma, but now she wants to reclaim her property and her land. So the younger energy, again, this energy felt like a maiden mother matriarch energy. The younger energy, represented by JS, began attempting to help her understand that all she had to do is go reclaim what is naturally and rightfully hers. It was only taken because she left. LW, the older, more, more mature energy, had a hard time understanding this. She began asking questions, and she could not perceive how she could just show up and this land be restored to her. She began asking questions. Would she have to fight? Would she even have to kill? Would she be harming this other energy? that have moved in, and this other energy has, been on this property for 40 years. I mean, is it their energy? I mean, is it their property now? So there's all these questions that came up. And I believe, this was the energy of the ego, but this energy you'll see is largely represented within the collective as well, because LW also doesn't want to hurt anybody, and reclaiming what's rightfully hers just because she was hurt and now it's not hers anymore. So it felt as if there's a natural process of restoration with nature and Mother Gaia that will happen naturally as long as we step up to reclaim what we gave away due to trauma that we perceive as stolen. So this was a very interesting dream. And next, I'm going to share the messages that were brought forward by Archangel Jophiel. Okay. So tuning in, the message from Archangel Jophiel. For a long time now, multiple generations of humans have gotten too caught up in the ego, trying to figure out and plan their way out of their current circumstance, limited by the faculties of their current awareness and perspective regarding their situation and what they see. The trauma and pain of the past has clouded the judgment of all humanity, whether they perceive themselves to be in power or not. Thus, false power that those who have, this false power, my apologies. This false power that those who have it, they believe that they're in the better position to be in. As they execute their power in unbalanced and distorted ways, because they themselves are traumatized, and in their confusion, they believe they need to have power over others. They believe they can exist above and beyond the power they perceive themselves to have, not understanding that their choices, good and mostly bad, or at least non-beneficial, will ultimately prove detrimental to all involved. What has been called and will continue to be called forth is healing. It doesn't matter how many policies or laws or even classes you enact or demand on each other until you start the healing process en masse. The reality will not shift at the rate many of you are calling and screaming for. Many of you in the collective demand changes right now, immediately, and today. Yet you still do not understand that the change you seek truly starts within yourself. There are natural and spiritual processes in place to rebalance and restore and to continue to evolve every situation and circumstance, every principality and every institution on every level. But you have to start somewhere. What is it you don't want to face or accept about yourself or another? What area in your life or humanity do you choose to still be in denial about, shameful about, vengeful about, angry about? You should be angry about some things if it continues to cause harm to another, but only if it stirs you to action within and outside of yourself. You can't do one without the other. That is not balance. Guilt and shame, how does it benefit you? Humanity has gone through repeating cycles of guilt and shame. experiencing that it doesn't benefit anyone, if it doesn't move you to a state of healing. Do your feelings inspire you to change, to grow, to heal, to evolve? Does your fear guide you to move to a safer space? If not, how does your feelings serve you? They were not meant to paralyze you and keep you stuck in perpetual confusion. It is time to move into clarity. If you are presently in a state of confusion, despair, anxiety, uncertainty, panic, grief, it's time to take a deep breath and face it. But know that you never have to face anything alone. There are so many higher dimensional energies that are presently willing and wanting to help you. So many hands reaching down to help you up. But these situations you still have to walk through. The only way out is through. But you can cut on the light. You can have support. You can know that there is light and a higher ideal of yourself and humanity at the end of the tunnel. You are so close if you will just open your eyes. There is light ahead. Focus on that light. Just don't be in denial about the presence of darkness. Healing is a state of expanded awareness, where once, quite possibly, you only seen the darkness. But now you know there is light. Now you know you have the power to cut it on and help others to cut on the light. You and they may still be in the same room, but at least the light is now on and they can choose to move out of that room. What room will you choose next? What will you choose to experience for yourself and humanity? Beautiful message. Thank you, sister. So, the energy, the next oversoul that's helping us to understand that energy within ourselves is the hemimorphite. Hemimorphite crystal. Let me pull that one up for you. So the hemimorphite crystal oversoul has come forward to assist us in understanding these energies within us so that we may move forward with a higher perspective. Our experience of life is reflected by the limits of our imagination. Hemimorphite stimulates a desire to explore the inner realms of our being and soar with our consciousness into hitherto unknown territories. This crystal invites us to look at our earthly situations from a higher perspective. We are taken on a journey to view life through the eyes of our soul and to keep things in perspective. On the last reading, if you didn't watch the last video, I would definitely recommend watching it. But a process of recapitulation was brought up in that video, as well as I also shared a dream that was relevant and still relevant now if you did not watch it or want to review it. But recapitulation, so I do feel like this energy, the hemimorphite energy, is helping us to look at what has been and to go through that process of recapitulation now with awareness, expanded awareness with our higher selves, versus what people would call an end of life review at the end of your life, Many of us are being guided to those processes now while we are alive, because our process of ascension will not require us to transition through the end of life model. The perspective that many of us, we will still, older ones of us may still continue to go through that process, but us younger ones, our process of evolution and ascension does not require end of life. But tuning into your higher self, gaining clarity on that process. Again, you could look up or Google or research or fill into the energy of recapitulation as well. So we are taken on a journey to view life through the eyes of our soul and to keep things in perspective. This crystal finds its way to people at a time in their life when a great awakening will take place. Even higher shifts, even higher integrations, higher evolution. So a great awakening is taking place right now, for us as individuals and humanity. Hemimorphi is a guide, a physical manifestation of higher consciousness. It appears in a person's life to say, wake up from your dream. The time you have been waiting for is here. With this support, we know that the time is right to move forward. The Hemimorphi Oversoul serves to remind us that we live in an unlimited universe. The mandala of Hemimorphi is a rare turquoise blue that glistens in the light. 6 beings reflecting the Oversoul's consciousness greet us with beautiful, beautiful turquoise eyes that shine with curiosity. The beings indicate to us to follow them into the mandala itself. They guide us to a center where there is a 6-pointed star of exquisite radiance. We are asked to turn around and surrender into the center of this star. As we do, we breathe in deep turquoise rays that penetrate our being, relaxing our throat chakra and our mind. The 6 beings surround us, creating a complex pattern as they link their energies together. We notice that we can see our own auric field and the edges reach out around us. The beings gather at the edge of our aura. With our permission, start to expand our field. We start to feel immensely wide and vast as they continue to stretch our energy further and further. Our consciousness becomes augmented, flooded with endless, unexpected possibilities. We feel through this healing how limited we have become in our outlook, sensing the potential of expanding our horizons. Our aura continues to expand all the time, taking in more and more turquoise starlight. We feel that we can play with the light we have available. The only limits are in our imagination. Thank you. Appreciating the beautiful energy of the hemimorphite crystal oversoul consciousness. So we're going to close with one last message here. In our last message, this card from the Sacred Rebels deck, the legacy of light. Legacy of light. And look at that energy. Again, the maiden, the mother, and the matriarch. Beautiful energy. A lot of healing taking place, finer and higher integrations taking place of the feminine energy. These energies, that have been in the past, in the past have been distorted greatly, turned against each other. Um, Internal conflicts and struggles within, between the mothers and the daughters and the grandmothers. But even this energy, when it was present in my dream, it was more of a working together. It was not blaming, it was not shaming. It was very supportive, it was very honoring. How can we work together to move forward, to restore balance, to restore, reclaim what is rightfully ours within our lineage, within our families, within our bloodlines, within the land, in tune and in alignment with our higher selves in nature and Mother Gaia. Legacy of light. You are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. Perhaps these are the beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel. From your heart and with belief in yourself, the more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. And even your desires, even what you want for yourself, for your family, for the community, for humanity, these desires have been coming forward. You feel this energy coming forward from the ancestors, not just your own, from higher dimensional beings, not just yourself. It's a beautiful energy. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. Like even transmuting that energy that each generation gets worse. No, read that last line. This light, this legacy of light, light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect, honor that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. That is what's being passed down. Hope is what's being passed down. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence in the world, to be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. The oracle of legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you are making or have made or soon will make is one that is in alignment with your sacred purpose and spiritual path of healing and growth. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. If you were asking about a particular question and drew this card, then part of your answer to your question is that the issue at hand is one of utmost importance to your spiritual growth, even if it seemed like a relatively insignificant question. The energy around this matter is relevant to your sacred birthright to shine. Perhaps you need to trust more, to know that all is well, no matter what it appears to be, and to ask for help and believe that you deserve to receive it. The legacy of light also asks you to call on the unconditionally loving support that exists for you every day. This light will offer you all manner of assistance. To not call upon it is like starving because you believe you have no means to acquire food, while a feast lays before your eyes. If only you would partake of it. If only you would open your eyes. Perhaps you worry that you are asking too much of those who wish to assist you. However, this is a mistaken belief. Those beings of unconditional love who assist us spiritually each day need to shine just as we do. When they are embraced for their purpose to assist with the spiritual growth of humanity through unconditional love, they too become a part of the legacy of light, shining bright with love and helping to illuminate the world. Although you may doubt your goodness at times, and being human does mean that there will be some very dark moments on your path, this oracle affirms that you are coming from love with the pure intention to simply live your life and do your best in the circumstances in which you find yourself. You are being asked to avail yourself of the help that is awaiting your request, so that your own light can become a part of the greater shining legacy of divine brilliance made manifest upon the earth. This oracle is also guiding you to something in your family history or spiritual ancestry that is relevant to you now. Your spiritual ancestry can be recognized through the traditions and cultures you are intrigued by and interested in. They do not have to be the same as your spiritual traditions that you were raised with in this lifetime, although they may be. The influence of your family history and or spiritual tradition may be encouraging and constructive, but it may also be holding you back. Sometimes we unintentionally absorb the hidden fears of our parents or our religious upbringing, such as the belief that dreams cannot manifest or that we have to compromise to the point of losing what makes us truly feel alive. If you can relate to this or want healing, just in case it is happening beyond the level of your conscious awareness, simply complete the healing process below. If you are involved or feel guided to a group project, this oracle is asking you to stay true to your heart of why you began working together in the first place, and to seek assistance, protection, and guidance from a source that loves all of you unconditionally. You can do this through the healing process below. So say aloud, through unconditional love, I am open to receiving the support, guidance, protection, and assistance that I need to manifest the legacy of light that shines through me now. I release any conscious or unconscious attachment to beliefs or relationship patterns that hold me back from fully shining my light in the world. I ask that my creative journey be aligned with my spiritual path and blessed for the greatest good. So be it. Place your hands in prayer at your heart and close your eyes. Bow your head to your hands and imagine, sense, or perceive that a beautiful golden light pours down from the center of the universe into the top of your head. It then flows slowly down through your head and into your heart, all the way down through your body and out through the soles of your feet. When you are ready, simply open your eyes and you have completed your healing process. So again, if you would like assistance, support, or even have any questions, just want someone to talk to, please feel free to reach out to me at bluerayatf@gmail.com. There will be more messages to come, more projects in the works at this time. So please like, share, subscribe, follow. I will be also exploring additional platforms here in the near future. So I look forward to connecting with you. I look forward to seeing where humanity is going. There's also another movie or project or situation that has been on my heart. I would imagine on many of our hearts, we have felt the call and guidance, the healing that is needed around human trafficking and sex trafficking and the trafficking of children. This movie that is coming out is called, it's a documentary. Oh my goodness. What is it called? Hold on. Let me grab it. Oh goodness. Sound of Freedom. A Sound of Freedom. And please believe, understand that this movie being released on July 4th is of energetic significance and significance energetically beyond just, the freedom and sovereignty beyond, like July 4th and getting free from, Great Britain. It's so much deeper than that. This is an energetic restoration of freedom that has taken place, restoration of truth and sovereignty that has taken place. And please believe that this does start with our children. This starts with protecting our children, the energy of protecting our children, getting clear within ourselves. What is protection? Identifying areas. Yes, the mother energy for a long time on this planet has been so traumatized, so distorted, so hurt, so limited, so shamed, so beaten down that oftentimes we, as the mother energy, the mother lineage ancestors, were not able to protect their children. But a lot of the mothers, even as children, were not able to protect themselves or be protected by their mothers. So this has been a long, ongoing energy on the planet. And whether it's your child or not, you are a mother of the earth. This energy of child trafficking and sex trafficking is affecting all of us directly or indirectly. And it's not even just trafficking. This is an energy that's being our sexual purity, our innocence as children, as being so corrupted and distorted within our own families. Starting with pedophilia and rape within the family. And it's not just to blame the males as if this has to do with masculine energy. Divine masculinity is very necessary. It's the divine masculinity that has also been distorted, where this energy has gone from a protective energy to a predatorial energy. But understand this is a distortion. And when you have distorted, traumatized ones of us, thinking we know how to guide others when we have not healed, you have this, I wouldn't even call feminine, distortion of feminine energy that is calling on like the decimation of masculine energy. Like, no, you cannot destroy one without destroying yourself. There is such a deep healing around the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the sacred sexuality and the protection of children. All of these energies, they cannot be separated. So if you are able to watch this movie, I would encourage watching it because we cannot be in denial about it anymore. We cannot be in denial about it and pretend that this will go away. If you don't know how to actively or physically assist in this movement, then know that you can assist energetically by getting clear and healing this energy within yourself. One of the primary things we need to heal and gain an understanding of is, what is pedophilia? Is pedophilia harmful or hurtful? How has pedophilia affected generations of family and humanity? And if you don't understand that pedophilia is a destructive force behind child trafficking, there is a strong push this has been occurring for generations, that pedophilia wants to be recognized as natural. It is not a natural energy. This is a harmful, destructive, and forceful, fallen, detrimental, degraded energy. I don't know how many ways I can describe this energy for you. It is a destructive force that is not natural to mankind, humanity, womankind, the divine mother or the divine father, Mother Gaia, or creation itself. It is not okay. It is not beneficial. It is not uplifting. And no, we will not call you minor attracted persons. We will call you pedophiles and rapists, because that's what you are. And you require healing. You require healing. The compassion we have for you is your healing, but it is not to allow you to continue down this dark path of darkness that is detrimental and killing the future of children to come. We will not continue to stand for it, and we're not going to be confused by it. We're not going to call ourselves woke when we really sleep, when we think that it is okay for grown men to sexualize children. I don't care how they dress. I don't care that they put on a dress. You still have a detrimental, disgusting energy that needs to be healed. And we're not going to change it by changing words around and confusing people. Look at it clearly. But the only way humanity and a group in any society can be confused by this is that they're confused within themselves. There is no confusion except for if you're confused within yourself. That's the only way they can confuse you. It's the only way they can force this on you and demand that you accept this as a natural sexual preference. It is a very unnatural sexual preference, one born of trauma and disconnection from the soul, entities, distortion, and perversion. Please get clear about this energy within yourself, because the clearer you are, the easier it will be to ripple out this clarification, this clarity, the energy and healing that's needed to those around you and to the collective. We should not, humanity should not be in such a state of confusion where you know from your own experience, many of you, many of us have had our own experience with this energy. So we know it was detrimental to us as children. So how can we be so confused about it as adults? How? Because someone else that you gave your authority to, someone else shouted louder and demanded and told you and said, no, this is good for us. And even if it's not good for us or if it's not good for you, you'll get over it. I actually heard a male claim that pedophilia is something, I don't know, I guess that's beneficial to humanity. And either way it goes, even if it's not, or yeah, he's aware that females have been hurt by this, males and females, but that you'll just get over it. You know, at some point, you shouldn't be so numb where certain things like this, certain distortions, when it's brought up, yes, it should be outrageous. You should know immediately. You should have the clarity within yourself where you're like, nope, that's absolutely wrong. That's not beneficial to the growth of a soul, of a humanity, of a child. So getting clear within yourself will manifest the changes that need to occur, even if you don't understand how. Even if you don't clearly understand how, know that higher dimensional beings, Mother Gaia, creation has processes in place to assist us. But there is a process that we do have to actively engage, and it starts within ourselves. So ask yourself, how can a group of highly educated individuals within society actually begin to falsely believe that pedophilia somehow should be okay and forced upon other people and children to participate in? Because if we're going to agree, which I'm not, that pedophilia is okay, then we're also saying, well, it's okay, we're not going to protect our children, which I could tell you all of humanity's children are our children. Why is it that according to the statistics, which I've been aware of them for quite some time. But why is it that a large percentage of American men or Western countries or, civilized societies where these people have education, why? Why do they engage in such perversions as pedophilia? Why is there even a market for this? Ask yourselves these questions because these concepts need to be understood within the self so that we can understand it as a community and as a humanity. We are one, and again, it starts with the individual. This is multi-level. I love you and I honor you. I love you and I honor you. I forgive you. I appreciate you. I respect you. I support you in your process and in our humanity. Namaste.